I received a system update 2 days ago, which optimized the frame rate drop on the top screen when games ran on the bottom screen, and also addressed Nintendo DS display issues. They also implemented optimizations for standby power consumption and introduced dual-screen backlight control. So, in this episode, I'll be conducting tests on the first two optimizations using a selection of games. To accurately observe the top screen's frame rate, I've installed a specialized third-party frame rate testing application. You can clearly observe that the frame rate exhibits some fluctuations. On the bottom display, we can also monitor our frame rate. However, today, my main intention is to position this software on the top screen, specifically to observe if there's any frame rate drop there. Let's kick things off with this Sonic game to see if there's any desynchronization occurring between the upper and lower screens. Let's slow the video down a bit more and I'll show you the screen. Following this update, you can clearly observe that the top and bottom displays are now largely synchronized. Let's try a few more games to further test this out. By demonstrating in slow motion, you can observe that the frame rate on the upper display hasn't decreased. The desynchronization problem with the NDS game screen has indeed seen significant improvement. Here, I'm also utilizing a third-party monitoring application that displays some fundamental machine details. The features marked with an X indicate functions that this particular device does not possess. The primary objective for utilizing this particular software is to conduct an assessment of the device's screen touch sampling rate. This allows for a thorough evaluation of its responsiveness and accuracy, ensuring optimal performance for user interaction and overall system fluidity. We're keen on understanding how efficiently the screen registers touch inputs to deliver a seamless and engaging experience. This test is crucial for gauging the device's capability in processing rapid and precise touch commands, which is vital for both gaming and general navigation. The screen's highest sampling rate is currently measured at 106 Hz. Let's now take a moment to specifically examine the upper display panel. Still 106Hz, both screens are the same. So how good is a 106Hz touch sampling rate? Let's ask an AI. An Android screen's maximum touch sampling rate of 106Hz is quite low. Currently, even basic Android phones typically reach 240Hz, while mainstream mid to high-end models hover around 360Hz. Gaming phones often surpass a 1000Hz instantaneous touch sampling rate. 106Hz is barely above the early 60Hz low sampling rates for simple daily taps. And slow swipes, it's basically adequate. But for fast swipes or playing MOBA and FPS games, you'll likely experience touch latency and unresponsiveness. Now let's turn our attention to the Y700 Gen 2. The touch sampling rate for the screen on this Y700 Gen 2 device is 241 Hz. We should also proceed to test the screen's touch coverage to assess its performance thoroughly. The touch coverage test didn't reveal any significant problems. From a superficial perspective, the device's touch controls appear to be generally acceptable, just barely making the grade. Nevertheless, when one plays Nintendo DS games, a considerable number of touch-intensive games necessitate highly precise input. The original NDS featured a resistive screen. Resistive and capacitive touch operate on distinct principles and interaction methods. A resistive screen relies on pressure sensing, providing high precision, and the original console itself experienced no delay. However, emulators inherently introduce some latency. Consequently, playing touch-based games on an emulator console significantly degrades the overall experience. The Nintendo DS predominantly offers numerous touch-controlled games and a handful of rhythm-based ones. Personally, I typically steer clear of rhythm games, but after trying them out, the overall experience was rather unsatisfactory. Nonetheless, for games like Pokemon, the control interface is quite commendable. In my previous video, I also drew a comparison between it and the original console, my specific unit. Its condition is quite good. For players seeking a pixel-perfect NDS experience, I still highly recommend using the original console. Its price isn't steep at all currently. After previous testing, Anbernic did address some issues. However, other aspects remain criticized. Personally, the price point concerns me most. Despite having two screens, the 3568's performance is on par with the 3566. With the handheld console war being so intense this year, this pricing and these specs just aren't competitive enough. So far, I've tried 3 dual-screen handheld consoles myself, and when it comes to playing Nintendo DS games, they all feel like they're missing something. What form factor and specs do you guys think are best for playing Nintendo DS? Please feel free to share your thoughts and comments in the section below.